Welcome to Unworthy. We're going to jump right back in with Susan and learn about how she is able to pour into others and mentor others. And even though she is a very busy lady herself. And so, welcome, and we hope you enjoy. Thank you.
He was 100% human, Jesus on this earth for 33 years. Wow, 3 years with the disciples. I mean, just a whole amazing story. I'm so thankful we were born in the New Testament time. I don't think I could live in the Old Testament time.
I'm very grateful that
Yeah.
Bill was. Somebody was reading, or I guess the church is we're going through this Bible study and it's the Old Testament. We did the New Testament last year. We're reading through the Old Testament this year, and it's like, yikes! Like everything you do is like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you're having to.
Oh yeah.
I would have had to sacrifice so many cows.
Exactly. I don't have any more, Lord. Where do I go? What do I do? Yeah.
It's like everything you do is like
Scary.
yikes.
Oh yeah.
But I think, yes, it's a very obviously grace.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful for it.
Me too.
Because I need it. And it's something that Bonnie and I talked about. It's like her perception was that I'm the good friend who does nothing wrong. I'm like, you have no idea what happens in here. Right? I know all the things I do wrong.
That's right.
And I think that and again, if we were living in Old Testament times, like I mean, that list was like, who knows? Like my New Testament list of things I do wrong is like huge.
Yeah.
If I had the Old Testament list of things I do wrong,
I know. I would just say, Jennifer, your halo's crooked. We gotta straighten your halo.
It would be falling off.
Mine would disintegrate.
Yeah, it would be so bad. But I think that's why none of us deserve grace, right? Like the truth is, there's not one good.
Not one. No.
Who's good.
And I don't ever want to think of myself like that because at any moment I could fail. I am going to. Okay, who do you know who said this? I am going to fail you, disappoint you. They would start out like that. Do you know who that is? One of our CEOs.
Oh,
David. He would always say that, and that's what made him a great leader. Because he set the tone right up front. So I do that often too when I'm talking to people, or you look at me today and you see a cleaned up version of Susan, but believe me, I have my scars, and some of them run very deep. I'm just glad that God captured my heart that I could change, but I'm still changing, and I will not be perfect.
Right.
So who am I to judge somebody else when I have my own faults that I know, and how God has forgiven me for so many things. Really just good.
And constantly forgiving,
Yes,
right? I feel like
constantly.
every day I have to ask for new forgiveness for something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you're married, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I should be asking for more forgiveness.
It's hard. Life is hard, period.
Like some days I'm like, yeah. I probably could have definitely done that better. But we're all being the best that we can be, or trying to be the best we can be.
We are.
Some days we're maybe not trying so hard to be the best we can be.
Yes, but I do believe God then taps you on the shoulder too. Like he's always trying to get our attention, always talking to us. And he's like, Susan, I don't think you want to do that. So then free will. Hopefully I'm listening. And that's the importance of establishing a relationship with him. And it's going to look different for every person. We're not to judge somebody else's relationship with God.
Right.
What we are to be an example, a light, and that you are, my friend.
Wow.
A light to many others. Yes, you are. And that's the best we could do. We could just try to do life the way God would want us to.
Yeah. And I think that's my hope, right? Is that I do want to be Jesus. Like, I would not want someone to be turned off of Jesus because of me. Because I do think
absolutely.
we answer for that.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother.
That would be a whole other thing, but I do believe that I would answer to that. And so
it's true.
My prayer would be that, like, do not want to do that. Yeah.
No.
And I probably have done that, right? Like at the end of the day, like I think at some point.
Yeah. If we probably had to watch all the things we've done that we didn't even realize when we hurt someone. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, because I'm sure I've done it too, and not where I want to be.
Well, and I think we're all we're all hurting.
Mm-hmm.
We're hurt people,
yep.
and we're all causing hurt
yep.
at some point. And so, that's who we are, and that's unfortunate. But at some point, we're trusting that He is reconciling us as best He can, and as long as we are open to that, and we're praying, about that, and hoping that our eyes are open to that, we can hopefully reconcile the hurts that we've caused too.
I think so. I think the more that you just say, God, help me.
Yeah.
And help is a prayer. Some people think prayers have to be long and have to be quoting the Bible and all this stuff, and none of that's true. It's really a conversation with God. And just finding that conversation helps us stay on this path that we're talking about, and that no one is perfect, that we're going to fall, but God will pick us up. So the beauty is we judge from the outside in. When I say we, kind of the world, we look at people, they're short, they're tall, they're black, they're white, long hair, short hair, whatever, right? We judge people, we look at them, and God looks at the heart. Yeah. And so I want to look at the heart. I want to get past all that other stuff, because at the end of the day, God created human beings in the image of Christ, and I'm like, okay, that's still someone's child, that's someone's daughter or son, and I just want to pour out the love that God's given me.
Well, and He even looks past their behavior, right? Because even in David and his whole
transgressions and whatever,
all
right?
of the things he did, he still said he was after my own heart.
Yeah.
And he loved him.
He loved David
so much.
Little shepherd boy.
Even after everything he did, he said that.
I know.
And so, if you can think about someone who did all of the things that David did, and God still loved him so wholly. I mean, like fully, right? Like fully. He loved him.
Yes.
Then there's hope for all of us. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that about. That's my. I mean, I will say that so much. Like, that is my favorite thing about the Bible is He didn't give us like these holy of holiest people to look up to, right?
No.
He gave us like this book of people who have flaws and they have failures and they have all of these things that we have, right? These same characteristics that we have. And yet they are redeemed.
Yes.
And that shows that we can be redeemed.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how, Jesus was criticized for the people that he hung out with, that he reached, the tax collectors, prostitute,
woman at the well,
right? And so you think about that and you say, well, my goodness. Well, he said, I came to heal the sick. So that brings us back full circle to the hospital, right? That's a place of healing, a place where people come to get help that they can't get at home, right? Jesus came to heal people who had spiritual sickness. Hospitals help with physical, but everything can be done through God. You just have to remember that everybody is going through, right? If you're breathing today and you're listening to us over here, us crazies, no, if you're listening to us, you've been through something or going through something. And my prayer will be that every person watching this, that something very special God will bless them.
Yeah, and that you find,
peace,
the peace that you need, that can really only come from Him.
Yep.
Because it can't come from anything of this world.
No.
And people search for it, and I think they spend so much of their time, right? Coming back to the time, what do we waste our time on?
Yeah.
We waste our time trying to fill this God-shaped hole. I watched this whole thing of this lady, talking about this the other day, that we're all born with this God-shaped hole, and we spend our time wasting it, right? Wasting our time trying to fill it with these empty things.
Yes.
Like, women will especially like try to fill it with men.
Yes, of course.
And people will fill it with drugs,
Yes.
alcohol, our jobs.
Yes.
All these things.
Short term. They only give you a short term gain, and then
Yeah,
you got to get
a
another
little fix, right? And
A
then
little
we
fix, yeah.
we end up feeling empty.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that can really fill us is Him, right?
Yes.
And He says that, right?
He
Like
said that.
you know,
But not only does that, He shows
us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, that is the truth. Is like He is the drink, right? That never runs.
Yeah,
dry.
His well will
never runs dry. And that is the truth. And if you've experienced it, then you know. And if you've not experienced it, it sounds like we're crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't experienced it, you can't really understand it. And it does sound impossible. But it also says, like, I did a whole thing on this other day, like a deep dive into this. Like, if you seek me, you will find me. And I was like, well, what does that actually mean? Because I feel like I know people who really pray, but I'm not sure that they're really finding Him because they don't seem to have peace.
Well, remember, there's another part to that.
With my whole heart.
Yeah. If you seek me with your whole heart.
Yeah.
And that's where I was holding back sometimes from God. You know, like I want to put my toe in the water, but I don't want my foot to get in there.
Right.
Or I don't want to get my hair wet. It's like, take a deep plunge.
Right.
So it's the whole heart. It's not a piece of it. It's not for this period of time.
I think that's it. I do think that's
it. Yeah, I do too. Because His Word says it, I really do believe it. That when in those places where I have been so down and out and scared, that I fully surrendered and my heart was broken and I was crying to Him. Oh my gosh, where I'm weak, He just swooped in and healed me and made me stronger, carried me through college, carried me. I mean, when I graduated from college, I really needed to get a job. I didn't have a place. I didn't have like anything. Yeah. So I was scared, but God pulled me through. And thank goodness, like I said, in my 20s, I was in college when I started going back to church. And so I honestly believe the first job I got, it was working for a bank in North Carolina. It was Wachovia then, it's now known as Wells Fargo. And they accepted me in their management training program. But sometime after that, I looked back at my resume. There were typos in it. I was scared to death. It was nothing but the grace of God. I can't even imagine that interview well. The grace of God that got me that job. And then that job got me in the door of the bank and a management training program so that I could have a place to live and do the things I needed to do. God. But God. But God. I'm telling you, He just does it. His favor will be upon you. And I mean, it's not a wand. He's not a genie. And I don't want to make it sound like that. These are hard things, guys. It takes a long time. It's His timing. It's not a wand or anything like that, but it does happen.
Yeah.
But it starts first
with like this truly seeking Him,
seeking Him.
And I do think the broken heart, like you do have. I mean, when you come to Him, it will break your heart because you are.
Yes.
It reveals to you how you have broken His heart.
That's right.
And I'm gonna cry because it's like when you are revealed how you've broken His heart, it's hard.
It's hard.
I mean, I could cry about it right now because He didn't deserve how much pain was on Him.
That's right.
How he died for our sins. Like He did that, and He was perfect.
That's right.
And He died for our sins, and He didn't deserve to die for our sins. And yet He did it because He loved us so much. And if it was just me, that was the only person alive, He still would have done it. Because that would have been the only way that I could have been redeemed.
Yeah. Something else that gives me strength in His Word, besides just knowing that He's God, is that when I read that He created us in the image of Christ, and that we have access because Jesus died on the cross, we have access to so many things. So it's like when I say access, it's like power. there's power in Christ Jesus, whose blood was shed on the cross for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you think, I can't, and Jesus says, I can, trust me, come this way. If it aligns with his word, he's not going to give us everything we want because he's not a genie. But also, it needs to align with his word because some things will not help us. They will hurt us.
That's right.
And we don't have that type of knowledge. But I do believe that all things are possible through Christ who strengthens us.
Mm-hmm.
That when we put our trust in him, we believe in him with all of our heart, when we surrender, when we come to him in obedience, and there are a lot of things he sounds like you got to do, but really it's just this place of saying, okay, Lord, I can't fix this, but I believe that you can, and I am giving it back to you. I've given my children back to you. I've given my husband back to you. I've tried to fix. I'm giving this job back to you that I've tried to do. I'm giving it back to you. And Lord, have your way and your will. And I'm going to trust and believe that you are going to do this for us.
Yeah.
That place, whew, it's a scary place.
Yeah. It's like your life is not your own anymore.
No, it's not.
But it's also a it's weird to say that it's actually it's a more peace. It's weird to say it's more peaceful.
It is
because it's almost, but it's weird because if you're a control freak, which I am a type A personality. Mm-hmm. You're a type A personality.
Recovering.
So it is weird to say it's a peaceful existence, not to have any control over your life. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
Yeah, it's scary. So you think about if you have two things in your hand and you're clenching them very tight, how can God bless you or help you if you won't let go? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the hardest part. The hardest part is we've got to let go and allow God to move into those places and spaces. Mm-hmm. That he will occupy, he will fill, he will give you the strength. But everything is in Christ Jesus. Mm-hmm. He will reveal himself to anybody. I do believe that. And he's constantly tapping on our heart.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like I have so much peace about it because I believe in his faithfulness.
Yes.
And I believe that he is good. And if you believe that those are the hallmarks of his personality, then I believe that whatever his will is for my life and for the life that I love, the people that I love, that it's okay. Whatever he has in store for us will be in those things.
That's right.
It's for his will and it is in his goodness.
Yes.
And so if I believe that, then whatever it is, it's going to be okay. And so I do. I just let it go.
Yeah. And I also know that he wants to hear what it is that I want specifically. Mm-hmm. So, when that man was outside and he couldn't get into the water, get healed. Mm-hmm. And so, he's sitting there and all these people are passing him by and he's like, help me get in the water. And Jesus comes and he's like, they won't help me get in the water. I can't get healed. They won't help me. And Jesus is like, what do you want? Jesus asked him, like, Jesus, he's sick. He can't, he's paraplegic. He can't get in there, right? All these things. You created this man, And I'm sure he's thinking, why in the world? He wants us to tell him. So even in all of that, of surrendering your life, it's still okay to say, dear Lord, I want to have grandchildren one day. Whatever those things of your heart, you just think, you still lift up those things to him in prayer.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I prayed this very specific prayers for my job and the church that we wanted. Important. And I mean, very detailed. I mean, I wrote them out and they are very specific and they are very much
what you said. Point. Yeah. And I think that's the story that we've got to tell people because I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make up what has happened to me. I've got a cancer journey that I did journal, and it is like God at every point. There's so many miracles within that story. I read it, and I'm like, who was that girl, and what in the world happened? And thank you, God. It's crazy. Wow. It is. Yeah. And even for this point in my life, this is what I prayed for. I prayed for this time in my life that I would be able to help people, that I would have flexibility with schedule because I'm getting older, and I would be able to retire in good health. That was one of my biggest prayers was to be able to retire in good health and enjoy my marriage and stuff.
Well,
so, yeah.
You are doing all those things because you are the busiest retired person I do know.
There are a few more like me out there. I know.
And I do think that a piece of that is just how much you do serve other people, because I do think that is something God has taught us to do, is to be the hands and feet of Jesus, right? And you do that in so many ways, and I think in ways you don't even realize that you do it. In very public ways you do it, but in also in small ways you do that too. And I think when I think about the time, what do I want to do with my time?
Yeah.
I think giving to others in those ways,
yes,
is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And it's not for like your whole life you've been busy, right? Like you have been a busy lady.
Type A can't be from one type A to another, right?
Well, I also do have hobbies,
But you're such a generous giver. You really are.
I don't know.
Your heart is big, Jennifer. You really are. And so, and the modesty that you have too. That the beautiful. A lot of people don't know how to be humble and be successful, and that's another thing that you are. You are very successful and very humble, and that's a beautiful balance. And a lot of people can get behind that and really just want to be in your circle because you're so giving, generous.
Wow. I mean, I don't take
It's
compliments
true.
well.
I know
But
she doesn't. She's not gonna take it.
Well, and it's because I don't think anybody. I don't do it for any of it.
You don't.
You know,
You
like that's
don't.
not
That's who.
why.
But it is who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
And we thank
I
God for
appreciate
that. We thank
I
God for
appreciate
that.
that. But it is for God. I don't do it for.
Yeah. I get
Right.
it. I get it.
I do it. I don't do it for any reason. It's obedience.
Yeah.
I do it for obedience. I mean,
Yeah.
like
For a long time, I couldn't accept like things. I didn't want people to do things for me. I always felt like I had to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got sick, and that was really tough because my kids were 7 and 4 years old, and I was going through cancer. And my husband was working; he needed to work. He took some time off, of course, he needed to work. I had a good friend that came down, and she would help once a month when I would get my chemo treatment. And but I say all that to say that God, He's just so amazing in that I didn't want people to cook for us. I didn't want them to do anything, but yet my husband was struggling. Like Dennis, he worked in D.C. to make that matters worse, leaving at 4 a.m. or 4:45. I don't know what time. Coming home at 7 p.m. and working 5 days a week, and sometimes at night getting calls or whatever because he was in that type of job.
Right.
And so we needed help, and so people cooked food and came to help or whatever, and I learned how to receive. But that's still something that's still hard. It rears its head sometimes, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be that person. I want to be able to give and to receive, and it's hard. So I'm like you with the compliments. It's like, no, but honestly, thankful for you, Jennifer.
Well, and I am very thankful for you.
We're blessed.
But I think you're right. I think givers are often the worst receivers.
Receivers, we are.
And I think that's the truth. And I think that we're also probably the worst when we're in a situation where we need to receive.
Yes, I tried to be strong and not because I don't want to impose on anyone. I don't want them to think this or what. I don't know.
Right.
All
but
the
then
things.
God is good because He's still giving.
Yes.
Right? He
Yes.
still put people in your life.
He still did.
Who were just there giving.
And it was a blessing. It was such a blessing.
Yeah, making you receive.
Yes.
And there was a time in our lives we got married very young.
Yes.
And so we were very, very poor.
Yes.
I mean, like, so when I'm talking, we were like teenagers when we got married, and we were in college, and we did not have money at all. I mean, Roger was working 2 jobs. I was working 2 jobs most of the time, and paying for college and our bills and everything on our own. And on the weekends we would go home to go to church, and usually we would Sunday dinners, we would have my grandma and Roger's grandma. And our grandmas would each usually send us home some amount of groceries.
Yes.
Each one of them would usually give.
Sweet.
Roger's grandma would usually give him his very favorite. She would usually send him a honey bunches of cereal and a peanut butter and jelly, a jar of peanut butter and jelly, his favorite brands. And my grandma would just send us like a whole bunch of like different canned goods.
Yeah.
Usually.
So sweet.
Like once a week or once a month or whatever. And sometimes that was the groceries we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't easy. Yeah. It wasn't easy to take it because we were prideful.
Yes. Yes.
That's hard. Yeah. It's hard to admit that you're prideful because pride is a sin, obviously.
Right.
And I didn't recognize it as being prideful, but I think I probably was prideful.
Oh, I know I was. And can be.
Yeah.
That's one of the things so, I always say, as you're growing in your faith, we'll overcome when we get to heaven. Like, we'll be perfect.
Yeah.
When we get to heaven. But in this world, right?
We're still very proud.
Right? So, as you grow, higher level, higher devil. So, it looks familiar. It's kind of like that little pride issue of receiving or whatever it might be. And then it looks different this time. And God is convicting my heart. Sometimes he's saying, don't fall into that trap again.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But the difference is I'm thankful I'm not the person that I used to be. And the hope is that all of us can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would never think about giving anybody who needed anything. Right.
Yeah. No. You need something. Yeah. We would help.
And so it is funny, when it's inside versus outside, how differently you think about it. Yes. And how differently you receive versus you give versus receive.
Yeah.
And those are things that we all struggle with, and how I think we probably receive it differently. I know I receive it differently because of my background, right?
Yes.
Like I don't like it because I feel like I should have it together and I should be able to make my own way, and
Exactly.
I don't want to take help, and so
I know. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the tools of the enemy is to keep you ashamed or keep things inside of you that you won't talk about or you won't accept or whatever, so that you keep it inside of you, it just gets rotten and it just makes you, I don't know, just it's a terrible thing.
Right, and I think that's why I'm
do this.
I got to do this, and that's part of this, idea of being unworthy. It's like it's okay to be unworthy.
Yeah,
we all are.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna own that.
That's right.
We're gonna be okay with that. And there's lots of reasons along the way of our journeys where we were made to feel unworthy from other people, but that's not why we're really unworthy. We're actually unworthy because only God is worthy. Only Jesus was worthy, right? But the feeling of being unworthy from other people is junk.
That's right.
But the feeling of being unworthy because only He is worthy, that's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I'll own that part. I will own that part of being unworthy. I'm not going to own the other part of being unworthy. I'm not going to own the other part of other people making me feel unworthy. I'll own the part of being unworthy because only He is worthy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because everybody can come to the table that Jesus has prepared for.
Right.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But and that's why. Yeah, and He's He's preparing our mansion.
He is. I know. Woo, that's gonna be something.
And we'll be neighbors again.
Exactly.
I'll try to keep my mansion a little more tidy than I'm in my office.
We don't have to worry about any of that. He's gonna take care of all of that. All we do is, I think we're just gonna be singing and dancing and
I think
having a good time.
I think so. I think it will be the best time. That's what I tell my boys all the time.
Yeah.
About Mondays being numbered. I say I don't want you to be sad at all when Mommy's days are done. I want you to be, I know you'll be sad.
Yes.
Because I won't be here, but
Mommy
will not be Mommy will not be sad. Mommy will be having her best day ever. And that's why, at the end of the day, I would want for everyone. And that's why I'm doing this. Because
so
we
good.
got to share the message.
Yeah.
We got to be bold, and as uncomfortable as
Yeah.
it is for me to be bold, I'm trying to be more bold.
Well, you're doing it. And
That's
thank you for
why
having
I
me.
appreciate you doing this
Thank
with
you.
me.
No, thank you for having
And
me.
you are amazing. And I would say this about Susan is she is also a very humble person and would not tell you all of the amazing things that she does, not only for um not only that she did in her career life, but also that she does in our community here. And I was so proud to get to go last October and get to see you be recognized as the 2024 Woman of Influence here.
That was
really
nice.
so.
That was so nice.
I was so proud.
Thank you.
My heart was like bursting
really
with
nice.
pride.
Aww,
and so many of our people came.
I know. That was really nice.
so many of your people came, but
well, there are people.
I mean, like so many
Oh,
other.
and family too.
I mean,
yeah,
so
I
many.
had family and
You had
community.
so many people come to support you because you have touched so many people here.
Thank you.
But yeah, our Spotsy family came to be together to see you,
Yeah.
old and new. Like
that was nice.
Yeah,
That was really nice. I'm just blessed. I am so blessed, and I'm just grateful, so thankful.
but it's because of the work, because you are so generous with your time that you don't have to be. Like, I don't think that you recognize necessarily how generous you really are with your time. And I do think you do it because it's a calling from God.
It is.
That you recognize that this is how He wants us to be out in the world to serve people. But I think that not everyone's so busy, right?
Yeah.
And we use that as a little excuse. I have, certainly. Like, we have kids, we have all, right? Mm-hmm. But just like I was reminded today, as our pastor told us, right? Like, we do the things we want to do. Yes. We make time for the things that are important.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true.
Well, somewhere along the way, God impressed upon me, like some mornings I would be good about praying before I went to work and spending time in the Word, like getting my devotion. Mm-hmm. And there's some days I couldn't. I mean, I need to get there early. Maybe we're doing a breakfast, or I got in late that night and I was a little sleepy in the morning. And I didn't want to get out of bed. But something really, really, really is like I don't know how it came to me, but it's sort of like you don't have time. Even when you feel like you don't have time to do that before you go to work, when I would read that devotion and I would say, God, I need to be at work by this time, and it's important. I have a meeting, and I need your help, and whatever I gave him in that, do you know he blessed my whole day? I mean, my whole day suddenly changed, and it wasn't even like I took that time with him. He made it. He took care of it. He takes care of that. So when I give my time to someone else, and I'm thinking I don't have time to go here and do this to serve this person or whatever, he's like, oh, no, 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 no. If I've called you to that, you don't worry about it. I'll take care of all this. And that's how he protected me in my different places when I was doing that serving, because he called me to it. But the difference is knowing when you're doing it for the right reason.
Yeah. Your heart. Yeah.
Your heart.
And I wonder if it's like kind of like when you start tithing, right?
Yes.
And you always hear that message. I don't know if y'all have heard it. I've definitely been in like a lot of tithing sermons. Mm-hmm. And for years, I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. I used to hear these sermons and I'd be like, before we started tithing, because probably there was a time, I'll just say it, there was a time where we weren't tithing probably as regular. We would do it pretty regular, but not as regular. And then they'd say, you'd hear the sermon, and then they'd have people up there, and they'd be like, we don't know how it happens, but it just happens. And even if you think you don't have the money, if you start doing it, it just magically happens. Not that he's a genie, but it just somehow happens.
It happens.
And it's like, and then so I was just like, we just got to figure this out. Like, it's an act of obedience, and we just need to do it, and it will just take care of itself. It's an act of obedience. Mm-hmm. And so we just started doing it. And the truth is, they were right. It's fine.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's the craziest thing.
It's the craziest thing. It was true. It was true. It just took care of itself. And I can't even remember if I got a promotion, if Roger got a promotion. I don't even remember. But it did. It just completely took care of itself. And it has since then. And so I was like, okay, we just need to know, and it's not because of the money. It's just like, it is an act of obedience, and you do it because it's an act of obedience, and it's not about the money. It's just an act of obedience. But I wonder if, to your point about the time thing, if it's like a similar situation in that your schedule, you know how like your time, the time sucks, right? Like you are like on point A to point B and you get stopped like 14 lights, or you're in road construction, or you thought you were going to do this and then you get distracted over here. If like a similar thing doesn't happen to your time where your path gets cleared in a weird way,
it does. Yes.
If you're tithing it, for lack of a better word, to your service.
Absolutely.
In that way.
I agree 1000%. I believe everything belongs to God. Like, I don't even own anything. The children that I have been given such a wonderful opportunity to raise those two amazing human beings.
Right.
They don't belong to me, they belong to God.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's what is being a good steward in this space. So is it the space of time? It's the space of your husband. It's the space of your children. It's the space of your church and your giving. It's all those things.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And when you turn that over to God, it's like He just elevates you, and I can't even. He just does.
Mm-hmm.
It's the obedience piece, and it's the love.
Yeah.
When we show Him
it's
love,
the heart.
He shows
yeah.
It's the heart.
It's the heart.
It's the heart.
It's the heart behind it.
Yeah. I had someone ask me one time. It was a man who had done some bad things. He considered very, bad things in his life, and he was like, "Why do you think God continues to bless me or whatever?" And I was like, "Well, God looks at the heart, and this man had a great heart. He just had made some mistakes, and so he's no different than me." God looks at my heart. My heart says, Lord, I love you. I love my family. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have this. And I tell him those things, and he looks at the heart, and he gives me the best life that he could give me in this world with all the things we do. Yeah. That's all I could ever ask for. It's better than I could ever imagine. For me to be sitting here with you today, wow, such a blessing.
It is. I mean, it has been a blessing. I mean, I would say that it's been the best life that I could have asked for.
Yeah.
Has it been the easiest life? No. Has that been hard things along the way? Yes. Will there be hard things in the future?
Yes.
I mean, hard things that I can't even fathom.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But is life better?
Yes.
Knowing that whatever comes, He will be there holding me. Yeah. And He gives us people, right? Who will come alongside us and pray with us and hold us when, hold our hands and hold us up when we can't. I mean, that's a blessing too, is to have these friendships and have people who you can call on to pray with you. I mean, that's a blessing in itself as well.
It is.
And so He is good. And so I think that, the big thing that I would want people to take away probably from your story is just that nobody can write your story but God, right? Like, He is writing it, and He can write it in a way that you can't ever imagine for it to go, right?
Exactly.
Like when you were that little girl on that swing set, would you have ever imagined that you would be sitting here?
No, and that I would have 2 children, a successful career,
multiple careers.
multiple careers. Oh yeah.
Multiple careers.
Right? Careers. Oh yeah, He's had me in every sector. He's developed me. So yeah, I could not ask for anything more. There's a saying sometimes we say, Lord, if you don't do another thing, it's all right.
Well, and we've been watching The Chosen. And it's just it's been a hard season, and so it's been a hard season. And so one of the things that they just went around and did was, if you had not, if you had done this, that would have been enough. And so the truth is, like, if he had, I mean, he did not need to.
Yes.
But if he had only died on the cross for our sins, that would have been enough. But like every blessing that He has given, our whole, I mean, I couldn't name. I mean, it would take. I don't even know how many pieces of paper. I could fill this room up with pieces of paper full of the blessings.
Yes.
I couldn't even write them all down. It would take my lifetime to write all the blessings He's given me down.
Exactly.
I couldn't even name them.
And when I get to that place, it's like those are the tears. It's like
it's hard
that someone would love you so much that He would continue to do that over and over and over again.
When we know we're not worthy.
Not worthy.
But
we don't earn it.
Only did
we
that
can't
one
earn it.
thing.
There's nothing we can do to earn His love. He just gives it to us.
Yeah. And He gave us the salvation.
Yeah.
Without us having to earn it. And so that's a blessing. And so, I mean, I think that I would take away that no one can write your story but God. And so, and He is just waiting for you, and you don't have to earn it. There's nothing you can do. You just have to accept it. And so, again, with love, if you don't know that love and that peace, we have our website, www.I.Am.Unworthy.com. Please go there, and any one of us would love to pray with you or contact you and teach you about that or help answer any question you would have about that, because our hope would be that everyone would have that peace. That would be our joy, and is that everyone would come to know and love Him like we do. Yeah. All right. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.
Oh, I could talk to you for hours.
I know.
Again, we don't do that, but we could. All right. You guys have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to us as Susan shared her journey from that young girl who heard and felt God's peace with her and let her know that it was going to be okay. Even, as that young adult, losing her mom and that difficult time in her life, but then finding God and finding His peace and learning to develop that relationship with Him and having Him direct her paths. I think there's a lot to take from that. And then Susan always being so busy, but yet finding the time to pour into other people. I think that is so inspiring to me personally as I think of the time that I spend, almost wasting and not really, valuing and thinking about how I'm spending my time. I've given that a lot of thought lately, and I hope that you all will as well. If you all need anything, please reach out to us at www.I.Am.Unworthy.com. We would love to pray with you or help you, anything you need. Have a blessed week. Thank you. Bye.